a new day and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you a Sunday in my life. As a Mennonite, I feel like my Sundays probably look a little bit different than yours, maybe not, but I wanted to take you along and share with you what makes it one of my favorite days of the week. I just love Sundays, and I hope that maybe you'll find some little tips and tricks in this video today that you can maybe implement into your Sunday or whatever day is your beginning of your new week. So let's get into it. So our Sundays usually start as last minute as possible. We usually are out pretty late the Saturday night before, and so Sunday mornings Josh will sleep in as long as he possibly can, but he's used to getting up at like 5. So he's usually up around 6:30 or so, and he goes out on the porch and drinks his coffee, but I sleep in till like the last possible minute, and that's usually like 7:45-ish. And then while I'm getting ready upstairs, Josh will pack the diaper bag. I guess I'll call it a diaper bag, even though I'm in the midst of potty training my youngest. I have a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. Anyway, he will pack the bag with whatever we need for church, and I will show you in just a second what he puts in there. And yeah, you're gonna see in this video how helpful Josh is. He does a lot on Sunday mornings, and I don't feel bad because it's good for him to know where things are kept and how we do things, you know, and he can help out at least one day of the week. And yeah, thank you, Josh, for all the help. And neither of us are super talkative in the morning. We're just getting our day started and doing what we need to get out the door. So I typically do not eat breakfast in the morning on a Sunday morning, but I'm pregnant right now, and I find that I get kind of hangry after church or in the middle of church if I don't eat something in the morning. So it's not usually much. Once in a while, I'll make myself an iced coffee on a Sunday morning, but usually not. Usually I'll just grab something out of the fridge. Today I just peeled a peach and ate that. Okay, Josh always packs the diaper bag, but I wanted to show you what we usually do for Sunday mornings. Each kid gets a cup of milk to drink in the car on the way to church. We have about 20 minutes to church, and some cereal, and that's their breakfast in the car, and it usually works out fine. And then I have 2 pouches in here, while Josh always packs some books, which I don't like to pack big books. But he packed a big one there, and yeah, those are just for Fletcher to look at in church if he needs to. And then in the first pouch, this is just like, I always keep this in here, it's like first aid and stuff like that, so that's just there. And then this is the little activity bag. Oh, and wipes and a pair of extra shorts, just because, yeah, we're dealing with a 2-year-old here, you never know. Hashtag potty training, am I right? Also, these are both Fox Sparrow bags you can get on my website if you're looking for some organization. So I just pulled everything out of this bag. By the way, if you hear noise, Josh is upstairs getting the kids dressed. He usually does that. I have this little pack of they're like foam stickers. I don't know, they like to play and sort with them. And then this is Evonnie's. She has 3 smelly pens from Dollar Tree and a little notebook. Fletcher has his 2 little cars. And then I picked up these little sticker books over the years. It's like just tractors, and this one trains, and then just some crayons and a little notebook for Fletcher. So that's it. I don't know if that looks like a little bit or a lot, but we try to keep things down to a minimum. They're 2 and 3, so usually it just ends up Evonnie drawing and Fletcher just driving a truck on Josh's leg. Sometimes some of the other stuff gets used, but not too often. Prenatal vitamins like I do every day of the week, and my prenatal vitamins are from Ritual, who are kindly sponsoring today's video. Ritual vitamins are vitamins that are delivered right to my door, and I take their prenatal, but they have multivitamins for women and men, 50 plus, and teens, and also postnatal vitamins as well. And I've just been on prenatal vitamins since I, started trying to get pregnant with my first baby, and I'm just going to stay on them for now. According to my OBGYN, she said that would probably be the best. And Ritual's prenatal vitamin has 12 key nutrients that you're gonna need during your pregnancy and beforehand, such as D3s and omega-3s. And what's so great about Ritual is that they are so transparent, not only in their environmental impact and their packaging, which is 100% recycled materials, but also where they source their nutrients and their ingredients from. And they went the extra mile, and they sent their bottles with like a little capsule. I believe this one is a citrus scent. Sometimes there's a mint scent. And so it does not smell bad at all when you want to take your vitamins. In fact, it's actually a pleasant experience. And they're even gentle on an empty stomach. Ritual vitamins are vegan-friendly, non-GMO, gluten-free, allergen-free, and they contain no added sugars. And they don't actually just do vitamins anymore. They also have essential protein that you guys can check out on their website if you're interested in that. And the way Ritual works is that they deliver the vitamins right to your door via a subscription, so you can't forget to order them. And right now, if you use my code that I have here on my screen, 10meganfox, and go to ritual.com/10meganfox, that is going to get you 10% off your first 3 months. And I'll put all the information for that down below in the description box. You can't miss it. So yeah, that happens every day, not just on Sundays. Okay, so then the strategy is just to get our kids up and dressed and out the door. There is no extra fuss involved. We get them up at the last minute because they've usually been out late on a Saturday night as well. And we just do whatever it takes to get them out the door. And like I said, they will eat their breakfast in the car on the way to church. Did you sleep good or are you just waking up? Why do you have that on?
You lied, I wasn't on.
Yeah.
Sleeping.
You weren't dreaming in your head?
No.
Sometimes when I sleep, stories happen. Makeup that I do wear, I like to put a little bit on Sunday mornings just to feel a little more dressy. And yeah, I put it on in the car because it's really not much at all, just some mascara, some chapstick, maybe a little bit of tinted lotion, and I call it a day. We should probably figure that out because we can't really commit to teaching.
Make those insanely good sandwiches you made last night.
Were they good?
They were insanely good.
I know, I'm excited for one today for lunch.
Yeah.
Monty, did you like the sandwiches on the boat last night? Do you want some for lunch again? Yeah? But you don't want the spicy peppers? Just the spicy meat. Are you eating your Cheerios, Fletcher? Mm-hmm.
We went boating, and what was that thing that we were riding on?
The tube?
We were on the tube and we fell off, but Daddy told me to stop, but I didn't dream about that when I was sleeping.
That's good. And on our way to church, we share the road with all kinds of people. Bikers for religious reasons, bikers for recreation, cars, buggies, walkers. Actually, there is a Jowanger church, which is a very conservative Mennonite group in our area that is on our way to church. And so the kids love looking out the window at all the people just going to church in the old-fashioned way with their buggies, their bikes. Yeah, it's just definitely a fascinating commute. So when we arrive at church, we just go right in, and the service usually starts right around 9. And I thought I'd quickly just talk to you about what a Mennonite church service kind of looks like. In my experience, compared to like mainstream Christian churches, Mennonite churches tend to be a little bit more formal, a little bit more dressed up, not too much. At least our church is like dressy, casual type of thing. Like I can dress up as much as I want, but it's not needed. People would dress sometimes a little more casually as well. And it's usually pretty reverent. At our church, we sing mostly a cappella. Once in a while, there'll be like a song leader who does some praise and worship time with a keyboard or something. But for the most part, we sing a cappella, which means with no instruments. And I really enjoy that. And we will have a Sunday school hour for the first hour. And then at 10 o'clock, we will have a church service or like a sermon. And there'll be sharing time and prayer time in there. And yeah, I think it's pretty similar to a lot of Mennonite churches, not just our church. I've gone to a couple different Mennonite churches in my life, and they all look pretty similar, pretty structured. You're even going to have some churches where the men and the women sit separately, segregated seating they call it. And I think that stems from like way back in the day when they used to have like house church, and they needed to pack people on the chairs or in the benches, so it just made sense to put the women together and the men together. But I like that our church sits together as families. I just like that whole family worship time. And the Sunday school hour, you might have heard, is not over the same time as the sermon. So my kids are expected to sit for like an hour during the sermon and sharing and singing time. And I actually like it. It's not always easy in this stage of life, I have to be honest. Sometimes I don't get as much out of the sermon as I really could if I didn't have kids sitting there with me. But those churches that have Sunday school while the sermon is happening, that's great, but I like the idea of us having some family worship time together, like sitting together. I like that. I really do. And I feel like they catch more than you realize sometimes. Like on Sunday, the preacher mentioned something about trash, and Fletcher looks up at me, he's like, trash! Like, they hear, they understand. And, Evonnie's starting to get older, and she can understand the stories and things like that. So I'm a fan. It teaches them to sit still, and it's not always easy, but it's a good discipline, I feel, to have our kids sitting with us in our church services. I do not share which church I go to personally. I will put a link down below for our whole denomination. You can see like all the different churches in the area. Maybe there's one in your area, who knows? And yes, I get this question all the time. Can you visit a Mennonite church? Absolutely, absolutely you can visit. Just dress modestly, and usually, like I said, church services are pretty reverent, so maybe don't be super rowdy or whatever, but you're not gonna fit in, and that's completely fine. We're used to visitors, we want visitors, we welcome visitors. Our church and a lot of Mennonite churches are positioned right inside towns and cities so that people can easily access the buildings. So yes, please come and visit. Just be respectful, be reverent, dress modestly. You don't even necessarily need to worry about dressing up, although you might fit in a little better if you are wearing some nicer clothes, but nobody's gonna judge you, okay? That's just for your own peace of mind if you want to. And yeah, just go and see what it's like. I feel like the singing is always a lot better than people expect. Yeah, don't expect a big production with a light show and all that kind of thing. It's a pretty simple service for the most part, with some good sound teaching usually, lots of Bible reading, and yeah, like a 40-minute sermon usually. So yeah, that's kind of what you can expect out of a Mennonite church service. Anyway, so here you can enjoy a few clips that I took at church. I try to be very respectful, so you're not going to see a lot, but just a little glimpse into a Sunday morning. And yes, these are songs that I recorded us singing that Sunday. The church wasn't super full, so it wasn't like the best singing in the world, but go ahead, you can listen.
Heavenly starlight, heavenly starlight, lighting my soul with glory divine. Hallelujah, I am rejoiced. Grace, filled grace, grace that will pardon and cleanse within. Grace, grace, filled grace, grace that is greater than all our sin. Jesus the glorious, seamless and gracious, glory forever, He shall be mine.
Now, if you've been around on my channel long enough, you know how I am super into productivity, and something that I've learned with my Instagram page and just trying to get content and stuff is that hit two birds with one stone whenever you can. And so often on Sundays after we get home from church, or on the way home from church, we'll find a place and take pictures if we need to, because we're already dressed up. Oftentimes we're coordinated, wearing something halfway presentable. And so here today I wanted to take a picture in a wildflower field I had seen earlier, and so we did that. We were already dressed for the occasion. It took no extra effort at all. I just made sure to put some sunflowers in the car ahead of time as a prop. That's kind of one of my little like working mom hacks, is to definitely use those Sunday mornings when you're all ready to shoot some photos. Okay, this next topic is maybe a little bit controversial among the Mennonites. No, I'm kidding, it's not at all. But traditionally, I grew up with a big Sunday lunch. We had a big meal. But that's something we've kind of changed in our family, partly out of necessity and partly out of preference. When we come home from church on a Sunday, we've been sitting all morning. We don't necessarily want a big, heavy meal, But that's how I grew up. My mom would make the meat, the potatoes, the gravy, the vegetables, the noodles, the dessert. And Sunday meal times were super special. And I love those memories. And so we kind of recreate that on a different night of the week, like once a week or something, as I have time. But Sundays for us, we usually have pretty simple meals. And I'm so glad Josh is in support of this, because we like to do things as a family in the afternoon before nap time. We don't really want it all like focused on lunch, and sometimes we'll go away to family for lunch or church family for lunch, but on the days when we're at home, we will pull out leftovers. I will put something in the crock pot. Josh might just grill something and I'll throw together like a simple salad. Today I was just making a very very fancy sandwich, and that's what we had for lunch. So this is what we're having for lunch, this big giant sandwich. Basically, I just toasted Italian bread in the oven, and then I picked out some of the bread because that was way too much. You just end up eating all bread if you do that. And then inside, I have just gobs of stuff. I did Italian dry salami. I did this turkey breast with the pepper on the edges, bacon, cheddar cheese, and you put the cheddar cheese right down on the hot bread. That way it can like melt together. And one of our favorite things to put on sandwiches lately is these banana peppers. They're like considered mild, but they're very sour, so they're so good. They add really good flavor. And then I'm going to serve everything with pickles. I'm not gonna put them on right now because they end up making everything kind of soggy. And then I have romaine lettuce on as well to give it some good crunch. Also salt, pepper, oregano, and then I'm gonna drizzle mine with some, probably this olive oil. Or you know what, I'll probably just pull out the plain extra virgin olive oil and just drizzle some of that on yet. This is so good if you have like that dry, crusty Italian bread. Yeah, and just like takes it up a notch with that like fruity olive oil flavor. So I'm gonna cut this thing up and we're gonna get to eating. And we'll probably just eat this and chips. Like that's probably what our lunch will be. And then maybe we'll each grab like a piece of chocolate at the end. That will be our Sunday lunch. Fletcher's not exactly at the point where he can eat a big giant sloppy sandwich, so this is what his plate looks like. Just some meat.
I want it.
You want it? It's just some meat and cheese roll-ups, tomatoes, and pickles.
Yeah.
There you go, bud. Evonnie, are you gonna be able to eat that giant sloppy sandwich? There's no food in here. Very important that I haven't really addressed yet in this video is the lack of work on a Sunday. And I know a lot of you, like, Sunday is your big day to get things done. You reset for the week, you do your meal prep, your grocery shopping, maybe you're cleaning. Our neighbors, a lot of them like to mow their yard on a Sunday. Sundays for us are a day of rest, and I don't believe you can find, I've done some Bible study on this, I don't believe you can find any mandates in the New Testament about like God wants us to do this on a Sunday. But the principle is very clear of Sabbath, and I'm not saying that it has to be on a Sunday, but I do feel like God has just wired humans to need some rest and like a day of rest. And yeah, Sundays is when we do it. Traditionally, I think that's when the new church would have celebrated like their Sabbath. It would have been on Sundays. I'm not saying, like, that's a whole doctrinal thing. We could talk about that later or something. But I feel like the whole principle of Sabbath is in the Bible, and I'll tell you what, it makes my week. If I did not have one day where I could just like take off and not have any expectations or like super important priorities that had to get done, I don't know what would happen. So as you can see, we have simple lunches. I don't cook a lot. I don't clean a lot. The most I will do is like pretty much clean up after lunch, or if we're having company over or something. Obviously that requires work, but I feel like the fellowship kind of gives you a different kind of Sabbath or a different kind of relaxing, just having friends over or whatever. So I'm fine with doing that. And sometimes I find baking kind of relaxing. Sometimes I will like bake something on a Sunday, but that's just because I find it relaxing. I don't usually do any tasks, any projects. Well, you'll see later on what I like to do on a Sunday, but Sundays, believe me, they're a day of rest in my eyes. I'm not saying like my restfulness will necessarily look the way you think restfulness is. And so I think sometimes in the Mennonite churches, people can get kind of legalistic about what you should or shouldn't do on a Sunday. And that's neither here nor there. But I feel like whatever rest means to you, you should try to find some time to carve it out somewhere along the line. And I know I'm blessed with the Mennonite culture of just like, that's our culture, that's how we do. And so it makes it a lot easier to have that day of rest.
You give Dad a brown one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's root beer. Are you sure you want to share it? You might want that kind.
You want the root beer one?
Look, it's chocolate.
Chocolate? You want it? There you go. And guess what Mommy gets for dessert? Chocolate.
All right.
Daddy asked about our duck feet. Why are we wearing these?
I got a couple.
Because you want to be cozy, right? Now, I plan to film this video on a sunny day, show you what we do in the summertime because it looks a little different in the wintertime. But it was a rainy day, as you've seen, and so we didn't get to go biking or hiking or anything like that before nap time. We didn't get to do any swimming or anything like that. But often that's kind of the thing we'll do before the kids go down for their naps at 2 o'clock. But this day, Josh decided to go. This often happens fairly often. He'll go to the driving range or go shoot 9 holes at the golf. Is that what you say? Shoot 9 holes? I don't know. He'll golf for like 9 holes or so. Sometimes on a Sunday afternoon with my cousin's husbands. Yes, they've become his good friends, his golfing buddies. Anyway, which I've come to realize that it's kind of something that is his way of resting. It's like mindless, and he enjoys like the sport of it and stuff. So I try to have a good attitude about it. I don't actually mind him golfing if the kids are napping and stuff, like, because it's not taking up any family time. And then I can have a little bit of precious me time to myself. So it actually works out for everybody in the end. But today Josh left so he could be back in time for when the kids woke up from their naps so we could do something as a family. So I just set up some watercolors for the kids. Evonnie had been begging to do it all week and I just hadn't gotten around to it yet. So we were able to just do some watercolors together, and yeah, and it was very relaxing and chill. Stick on the clock. See what time it is?
Nap time.
It's nap time in 7 minutes. Okay, so finish up your picture and then we're gonna be done. So once the kids go down for their naps, that is me time. And honestly, guys, I look forward to this so much. Like, I look forward to this week all week long. So much, in fact, that whenever I think of something that I want to do during the week and I don't have time for it, I will literally put it on my Sunday to-do list. And my Sunday to-do list is so fun. It's always things that I want to do, goof off things, waste of time stuff. It's like home decor research and like all kinds of things that I don't make time for during the week because I'm usually always working while the kids are napping. And I make myself an iced coffee and I sit down in my chair and I just soak in the quiet and do all the things that I want to do. Goof off. If I have something I want to do but it's really not necessary or kind of a waste of time, I will put it on a list for Sunday. So my list today, I want to set up my Fitbit. I recently got a new one, and so some of the stuff on there is not set up yet on the app. I want to plan my week. I do that every Sunday. It just makes me feel so good. I look so forward to planning. This is what my planner looks like. I designed the pages myself and they work for me. Maybe someday I can make it available to you guys. Right now the PDFs are available on my website if you want to download them, but not in a physical book yet. And then I have some mood boards I want to work on for the home renovations we're doing, like the decor and that kind of thing. And I want to paint my nails. I do that almost every Sunday. I sit down and take the time to paint my nails because they're not going to get messed up right away, you know, with other things happening. And I always do, I'm reading through the Bible right now, so I usually do that right away in the morning. And I didn't do that this morning. I rarely do it in the morning on Sundays because I know I'll have time in the afternoon to do it. And I love to sleep in to the last possible minute on Sunday mornings because it's usually been a late night on Saturday night. So those are the things I have to do today. Sometimes I'll read a book. If it's nice out, I will like go on a walk or something. If Josh is home, which he said he'll probably be back in time. I think they just went to the driving range because it's raining. Yes, they're that diehard. They go to the driving range in the rain, I know. He said there's a roof where you stand, so whatever. But when he gets back, if it's not raining, I'm going to probably go on a jog or a walk or something, or maybe we'll just go as a family this evening. I don't know. But yeah, this is like my 3 hours of waste my time. It is never a waste. I don't know why I say that. It's not a waste of time. It's like my favorite 3 hours of the week, probably. It's like my me time. I know a lot of moms maybe try to get me time when their kids are napping. That's usually when I'm working other days of the week. So I'm so glad Sundays are like my day of rest. And I don't know how people do it that have, that just works 24/7. I don't know. You need some rest sometime. I'm not saying it has to be Sunday. That's just when I do it. It's when it works for me. And my whole culture kind of slows down on Sundays like Mennonites do. And so that's actually it's kind of really handy, actually. It's really nice. Nobody's expecting me to be out mowing my lawn or weeding the garden. It's so nice. Also, it's not always 3 hours of goof off time. And we often have people over Sunday evenings for like food, or we'll go biking or something. And so I'll usually try to sit down for like an hour or two, and then I have to get, you know, food ready and stuff like that. So it's not always like that nice big stretch, but when it is, it's blissful. It's blissful. So here I am working on these different mood boards for the different rooms. I have the nursery. I just basically am screenshotting different things online that I like, and then cropping them in and just layering them on top of each other. Fletcher's room here, I included the things I already have, like the cubicle, and his bed looks like this. So I found a similar picture. I bought this sheet set here, and this is the color of the back wall. So I just kind of can get a feel for how cohesive it looks. And I realized this is very dull, like black and white, and it needs some fun boy pop color in it or something. So I don't know if I'm going to go with like a rust again, but that's kind of similar to the nursery. I'm actually thinking about adding like a really dark evergreen color or something. And then here's the bathroom. Again, all the rooms kind of look a little bit similar because it's all in the same house. I really would like to have a nice flow. And then the toy room, last of all, here I have my rug already. I included the rug I bought right here, that is. And then this is kind of, I already have the sofa. This is kind of the color palette I want to go with here. That's just that inspiration picture. This is my jumping off point for the playroom. I started with that. And then I kind of built around it. Obviously I can't have that exact room. But I'm going to be buying, or I already did buy these from Amazon. I have a whole set of like storage units coming from an Amish guy who's making them for us. And I want to do something like this on the back wall. But yeah, just putting it all into a mood board and then like looking back at it, you can kind of see, oh, I need more color or not enough. You know, like here in Fletcher's room, I realized I needed more color. So anyway, and then I will actually print these out and hang them on the walls in the rooms and just kind of have a feel for it. And just kind of see what I want to do. Okay, so this is where my typical Sunday evening videos kind of break down because there's not usually a typical Sunday evening. You know, in the summertime, sometimes we'll go out boating with friends or we'll go to somebody's house for the evening, have a campfire, we'll have people over. We will stay at home. Rarely does that happen. We will go to a park, we'll go swimming, I don't know, something as a family. We do very simple suppers, as you'll see here in a second. Actually, I grew up with that idea as well, like where we would just have like leftovers or like nachos and cheese or popcorn and ice cream, you know, stuff like that, really easy snacky type of things. And so this evening we all grabbed an apple and went out the door. We were gonna go hiking in an overlook that's close to us. Go hike a mountain, and Josh looks on his radar. Even though it's like sunny as ever, there's this huge storm coming within like a matter of what, half an hour?
An hour maybe.
Yeah, so we were not going to risk it being stuck up on a mountain and it like thundering and lightning and stuff, so we're just going to pull in here at a local park, let the kids look at the ducks and get pushed on the swings, and we can run to our car as soon as it starts raining. And yeah, we won't get stranded on a mountain. Evonnie, were you excited to climb the tower? Yeah, I wanted to too, but it's gonna storm. So that's a good attitude. Yeah, we'll do it another Sunday. Okay? Fletcher.
What did he do?
I don't know. Did that scare you?
No, that was too funny.
Here they come. Here comes Mom.
Fletcher, how do the ducks go? Okay, so since the whole hiking thing did not pan out this evening and we didn't have any other plans, I texted my parents and they were at home as well, and so they decided to pop in and we just had a super casual evening. We watched the storm roll in. Yes, it did come eventually then. We probably could have squeezed our hike in, maybe, but then we wouldn't have got to hang out at all with my parents. And I just pulled cookie dough out of the freezer and made cookies, and then I squeezed some lemons and made lemonade. Very, very simple little snack in the evening. And yeah, it was casual, fun, and very relaxing. And I did mention simple suppers, right? The kids just had leftover sausage gravy and biscuits right out of the fridge, so that was super easy. weird Sunday to you guys? What is different from what you do? I would love to hear. Again, I am not telling you how you need to do your Sundays. I'm just telling you how we do ours and how that could be maybe one option for you. I'm not like a huge campaigner for any of this stuff, except that whole idea of Sabbath. I feel like I run myself pretty ragged during the week, and I need that Sunday to relax and just not have a lot of working to-dos and things like that. So if you want to know more about like that whole idea of rest and how I implement it in my life, because I don't seem like a very restful person a lot of the time, right? But that's just because I don't film the restful parts, right? That wouldn't make a good video. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this one. Let me know something you do that you consider rest. Remember, rest looks different to all of us, so let's not judge or tell people how they need to, you know, have their Sabbath. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, everyone.